Give it a couple seconds once it goes live. There we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Carefree Lewis G. Welcome back to another video for you guys today. It's another live, and you know if it's a live about Chelsea, I gotta get Iain on. Craigo28 with me, and I got the thing all wrong again. It's this side. If you want to
you need to get better
quickly,
at that, mate. You need
to
get
keep
better.
forgetting which side. I gotta remember right hand. But yeah, go on, introduce yourself quick.
Craigo28.
Yeah, Craigo28, Craigo28 football, Craigo28 sports as well. We've already got two guys on this. This is sick. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about the daily transfer news as per usual. And also, like I'm going to say, if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button, press that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification button as well to be the first guy to know whenever we release any new content. Now I've got that obvious part out of the way. Let's go straight into the transfer news.
Look at you, professional.
I've said it like so many times now. It just comes off the cuff now. It's got to that point, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know. The first piece of news is the obvious one, the one that's gained a lot of steam over the last 24, 48 hours. Thiago Silva to Chelsea. It sounded like one of those that we've just been like, yeah, we'll take him if the option comes. But now, sounds like Chelsea are also thinking about it as well. They've, what's his name? Romano said that we're now strongly considering Thiago Silva to Chelsea. And we've got rival fans saying, oh, we've been cussing out Arsenal for calling them retirement home FC. But is that the case with Chelsea, or is this just a really smart signing from us?
Oh, I've been on about it for bloody ages. A lot of people have said, oh, yeah, we'll sign him, we'll sign him, we'll sign him. But I said he's been a perfect candidate for so long. There's nothing wrong with signing players on free transfers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. He is a quality player. He's very experienced. I have to say, I've seen him live twice now, I think. Once or twice. He's absolutely incredible. He's absolutely brilliant. He's a ball player. He's a proper old-school defender. He is the full package. Yes, his age is maybe a little bit of a concern. I get that. But my God, is he a good player to have? And on a free transfer as well. A lot of people are going to say about the wage. I get it. I appreciate that. But I prefer to pay the money on a big wage and not spend anything on a transfer fee than go and spend a hell of a lot of money on a transfer fee and maybe not as much on a wage or even more on a wage. I don't know. To maybe not get the finished product. The guy is coming towards the end of his career, which is fine, fair enough. Doesn't necessarily mean it's only retirement home, but he's got a lot to give. And maybe he's not going to quite do it for PSG in quite the way that they want him to, but there's no reason he's a bad option for Chelsea to take. I'd be all over it, 1,000,000%.
Here's the thing, people are getting worried about the wage, but I think if he's realistically thinking about staying in Europe, he's going to take a pay cut anyway. He'll probably get a 2-year deal. I think we past that stage with over 30s and forcing them with 1-year deals, because I think we were going to give Zlatan one if he came in 2016. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah. But we know we were going to give Willian one as well. Thiago Silva, I wouldn't be surprised if we give him one with the same. We'll probably be on 100-something K a week. But for the experience and for the leadership that we've both been lacking in defence, I think it's worth it. For 1 year as well, maybe the English barrier might be a bit of a struggle, but you've also got to understand we'll have N'Golo Kante in the team. We'll have, what's his name, Kurt Zouma in the team as well, and they both can speak French as well. So there'll be some communication there. I
think, I may be wrong in this, but I think as an international captain, you have to have some degree of English to be able to communicate with the referees at major tournaments and something like that. And of course, he's been captain for Brazil for a while. I think it's one of those like unwritten rules. I think you pretty much have to learn the language in some degree. So although his English may not be perfect, he'll be able to communicate a lot better than probably someone like Sarri did last year. We had to have a translator following him around. So I think it'll be better than that.
I love the little shameless Sarri dig in there.
I hate him.
At least you were consistent. Like, that's the one thing I always gave you. Didn't like him from the start, so it is what it is.
He had one good
again on the streams.
How
much you got on TikTok now, by the way?
Oh God, 122K.
122K. That's a madness.
Man's big balling, I tell you. Big balling.
I actually need to check out some of your TikToks. I've tried to stay as far away from the app as humanly possible.
I just take the piss out of people. It's very easy.
What, is it literally just Chelsea memes?
No, Jesus, no. I do any old shit. Americans that think they know the whole thing about the world and they don't. I just answer their questions. Just take the piss out of anyone that wants to have the piss taken out of them.
Yeah, you know what? Just send me over a link after this. But look at this one. We've already got one Arsenal fan here in the comments saying about retirement home. But bro, you guys are the OGs when it comes to retirement home. And even in the case of Petr Cech, he came in first year and won you guys the Golden Glove. It is what it is. Someone's saying about Reguilon and Nick Pope. Are you feeling about on the left back situation? Because it looks like it's going to be Ben Chilwell. Are you happy, or are you? What are you feeling?
Reguilon is actually the one I did not want of the three. I must be honest. I liked him, and obviously he's going to play. He's going to play tonight in the Europa League final. Clearly got quality. You can see that, and there's a reason why he's probably worth the money that people are scouting for him. But Chelsea's problem at fullback is not going forward. It's actually defending.
Yeah.
We need one that can defend. And large chunks of the game against, they played Man United. Large amounts of time, I should say, against Man United, he was actually being used more as a left midfielder than he was actually a left back. And I get people are seeing all the highlights, him going forward, driving the ball at the pitch and whipping a ball in, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But Chelsea's problems are still defensively. If you want to get a fullback in to improve the situation at Chelsea, it has to be a not 100% defensively minded defender, but they have to have a defensive mindset at some point where Sevilla have just allowed him to go, yeah, you just go, you go and attack. And that's what you see on the highlight reel.
A lot more than
I would love Tagliafico. Love Tagliafico.
That makes sense.
That would be my choice.
He'd be cheap as well, but I think Leicester are now interested in Tagliafico now that Chilwell looks like on his way out.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Do you remember the geezer, where's he from? Turkey, isn't he? Soyuncu?
Yeah.
That looks like a Viking. If he has a beard, he's definitely a Viking. They let go of Harry Maguire for 85 million quid. They then brought in this geezer that no one had really even heard of. And just like that, he become one of the best centre-halves in the league for a fair old chunk of the season.
Yeah.
If they are looking to move on Ben Chilwell for an incredibly high price and they're just going to replace him with Tagliafico, surely they would have a reason to do that. Why would we not just then go and hijack that deal for Tagliafico? Because there's clearly something there that they like. All we've got to do is find out what we like in him. And I have to say, there is a lot, and take it. You're saving yourself half the money and
20, 30 mil, right?
Yeah.
Something around that. So it would be cheap as well. And we've been trying to look for cheaper options when it comes to defence as well.
Because as much as I know people are very going on about Chelsea spending, we're not the Galacticos. This is a very different time. We aren't going to go and spend £80 million on every single player and get away with it. You will get found out. And people are saying, oh, FFP doesn't exist anymore and whatever because of Man City. It does still exist. And you are still going to get done for it. Tagliafico is just a much better option. Hey, if we can get Ben Chilwell 40, 50 million quid, I'd probably be more inclined to take that. I'm not going to lie.
Same.
But that does not look likely. That looks like it's going to be 60, 70 million. He's way too expensive. Tagliafico, as it says there, is 28. He's got the experience on hand. He's been in the Champions League semi-final. Ben Chilwell hasn't. It's experience. It's experience. And he wins I know it's a poor league, Eredivisie, but he wins the league with Ajax. He wins silverware.
But what about Premier League experience? Because that's been used against him as well.
Oh, same with
We've
regular.
got pros and cons, innit? I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
I hate you so much, though. Okay, I'll give you that. Fine, fair enough. But then you could argue, where's Ben Chilwell's Champions League experience? Hasn't got any.
Literally. Goes pros and cons. But another thing as well, English barrier too.
Yeah.
Defensively, you're going to be communicating a lot.
I get that. I do get that. Yeah, I do get that. Again, I'll give you that one. I will give you that one. But again, I'll be honest.
Tagliafico is a good option too. I'm not saying I wouldn't take him. I'm saying there's pros and cons to both. With Chilwell, it's the price tag. With Tagliafico, will be the English barrier. But both I
don't actually know how good, bad his English is. I must be honest.
I'm not sure. I'm really taking speculation in it, but I'd be surprised.
But to be fair, I mean, the amount of different nationalities and everything in the Ajax team is a bit nuts and always has been a bit nuts. So it wouldn't surprise me if his English is quite good and they actually communicated, not completely in English, but parts in English. So it wouldn't surprise me.
All right, let's look through any more of these comments. Someone talking about Kepa to PSG. That's a surprise. I don't even know why they'd want him.
No.
Yeah,
I've literally just read it before coming on here that apparently Czech is going to step in and try and help Kepa.
I'm thinking, why hasn't he done that already?
Yeah, I know. I must agree with you on that one. But apparently they want to keep Kepa, and they don't see it. They don't see anyone moving on. or him moving on and anyone coming in and taking him. So I think we might be stuck with Kepa for another year.
Defender, though.
Who's that, sorry?
I mean, I thought we were still in for a goalkeeper, though, whether Kepa stays or goes. Well, I mean, I'd hope we are in it.
I have to say, one of the things I think will be very interesting to watch, and I think Chelsea might do next season, if Kepa does stay around, is, I don't know if you saw, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Is it Dermic, the Croatian goalkeeper that signed for Atletico Madrid this morning?
Dermic, yes.
Yeah, sounds about right. Anyway, Atletico have just signed a goalkeeper. What's going to be the case with Oblak? Is he going to be on the move? Is he not going to be on the move? That's one thing we need to consider, and that's the one thing we need to keep an eye on.
Ivo Grbic, that's it.
That's the one. I think one of the main things Chelsea are going to keep an eye on is the Nick Pope situation. Because Nick Pope, Burnley are kind of looking at that, how do you say? They're in that barrier between just about going to qualify for Europa League, not going to qualify for Europa League. No one wants to be in that middle ground. You either want to be way out of it and you go, fine, we're in the Premier League and that's all good, or you could end up pushing so hard and actually realise you're falling off and getting into a position that you don't want to be in. So I don't know quite what's going on with Burnley. So I think they'll monitor the whole Nick Pope situation next season. But one thing I think they will definitely keep an eye on is the David De Gea and Dean Henderson saga.
That is an interesting one because
if they want to go up against each other and they go, oh no, David De Gea is too big to miss out on. He is Spanish number 1 or number 2, whatever he is now. We've paid a lot of money for him in years gone by. We've given him a massive contract. If they keep with him and stand by him, which I think they may, and Dean Henderson gets probably pushed to one side, could Chelsea nick in there and steal him? I think that's potential as well.
You think we'd be in for Dean Henderson? I don't think United would let us near him. Just as a rival club.
Oh, no, I get that. But again, if everyone's got their asking price in it.
To be fair.
And I mean, they wanted, 55 million was the number they got thrown around a little while ago?
For Dean Henderson?
Something like that, because he was young. It's always that typical English thing. But if he doesn't play for a season, or gets half the interest maybe, then his value goes down. He looks slightly different player for whatever reason. Then maybe that 55 comes down to 40, maybe even 30, and then that's where I see Chelsea possibly taking him.
Hopefully. I mean, we've got master negotiator Marina, so anything's possible. Do you want to say to people watching us live, so big up all you guys watch us live on this. Someone's saying, what about Upamecano? He's just signed a new contract till 2023, so I don't think that would be possible.
Next season, I think he is available for 42 million on a buyout clause.
42 million?
Something like that. I did read that the other day.
Yeah, that's nice, you know.
I think it's one of those ones that if you want to buy him now, you're going to have to pay a fortune. If you want to buy him next summer, you can get him for 42 million quid. Do not get Donnarumma. Do not get Donnarumma. Please, for God's sake, do not get Donnarumma. There is a reason AC Milan. There is a reason that AC Milan are as poor as they are.
Donnarumma,
and they can see goals like hell. It's exactly the same position that Chelsea are in. At least to be fair, with
mad wages too.
Exactly. At least
Mino Raiola, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Someone else did say, where was that? I'm just trying to find the comment. Someone was asking about
Donnarumma. Very quickly, the thing with Donnarumma is AC Milan have got a half-decent defensive line. Half-decent. Burnley, to be fair to them, haven't really got a very half-decent defensive line. But they've got a decent enough keeper that when the opportunities do come at him, he saves them. Donnarumma isn't doing that. Because he's Italian number 1, he maybe gets a little bit a leeway in his favour, whatever, but there's just no point of picking him up. No point of picking him up.
I mean, you sold me on that. I barely watch enough Milan to have a judgment anyway, so I'm going off yours. Someone said reliability of Kante to United. That's the first I've heard of it, and I don't believe that for a second.
No, that won't happen. They ain't got the money.
Someone else saying Chilwell's overpriced. You can't do what United did with Maguire. I don't think it'll be an 80 million thing, regardless. We ain't going to
I think they're not going to budge from that number, and I think that Mourinho might come to it and go, no, we're not taking him.
I think, what was it? Because I've spoken to Neil on a couple of these lives before about the situation. He's been saying that Leicester have kind of known for a little while that he's interested in Chelsea. They kind of need to sell some assets as well because King Power has been struggling because of like duty free and the whole COVID situation this year. So low-key, I'm thinking we could possibly lower it a little bit. We heard that little BS rumor about 43 million or something. We never believed that either. But around the 60, maybe 50 something region, I do think we can get it for that. It'll be a long off negotiation, but it's gone on for long enough, and they both know that this one's probably going to happen.
See, it's a bit annoying because at the moment, and in modern day football, players very rarely hand in transfer requests. If a player hands in a transfer request, then they're on the move. It's just a case of for how much, and it's just a negotiation between the two clubs. Ben Chilwell's not going to do that because if he hands in a transfer request and the value of his brand, let's call it, goes down.
Doesn't he lose like some release clause or something? There's an extra bit of cash that he loses. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, and again, the more money that he goes for, the bigger his brand is, and also he gets money for signing on, and also his agent will get part of the fee, and also there's a clause that he would miss out on. He's not going to hand in a transfer request. He might want to go and he might express an interest in leaving, but to officially hand in a transfer request, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, I remember what Neil saying that. I think it was a Leicester v Burnley, and Chilwell was missing from the lineup, and it was because he was bragging in training that Chelsea were interested in him, and Rodgers didn't like it.
Really?
Apparently, and
I didn't know about the bragging in training.
Like he would know.
Yeah, I didn't know about the bragging in training. Probably
check it out on one of our old videos. I'm going to say that to everyone else who's watching this as well. I think it is. Which one is it? It's the Will Sell Ben Chilwell one. It's a really good discussion. He talks about a lot of little things that like a lot of people would have missed. Why this has looked like it could happen, and it's only been gaining more and more interest.
Yeah.
And someone else also talking about Xavier Mbuyamba. I really hope I pronounced that as well. He's just signed for Chelsea. I think he's going into our under-23 developments team, and everyone's calling him the next Virgil van Dijk, and I want to be very careful with the amount of hype that we're giving him. But he is good on the ball, strong as well, very tall, which is going to help with our aerial problems in the future, hopefully. It sounds promising. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it sounds promising.
Barcelona have got a defensive crisis, and they've let a young next Virgil van Dijk go.
Barcelona's been a mess for years, though.
But again, I'm not going to say he's going to be the next this or the next that. He's a highly talented player. Hopefully, he can do something with it. He's got the build. He's got the energy. He looks like he could fit in quite well at Chelsea. But the next Van Dijk, the next this, the next that. Do you remember we had the little German geezer, Marco Marin, the next Messi? Where's he playing now?
Hasn't he got forgotten about?
Exactly. I don't believe in any of that stuff. If he's going to, look, I mean, wish him all the best coming to Chelsea, as obviously you would do, but I ain't going to go any more than that. I ain't going to say he's the next this, the next that, because I don't know. Only time will tell.
Someone else saying Lewis Dunk or Thiago Silva. How are you feeling? Me personally, do you feel like if we could lower the Lewis Dunk valuation, we could probably push for both?
I think we can, but again, it's the problem is you are ripping away an essential part of that Brighton team. You are literally ruining that team if you take away their captain, leader, legend, basically, for them. You know, he's been with them for a long, long time. I don't know this for a fact. I believe he grew up a Chelsea fan. So I think he did. Yeah, I think there's quite a desire to possibly come and play for Chelsea at some point. But having said that, I mean, if you've got some affiliation for your club in Brighton, you're not just going to like that, let it disappear. So I don't know. I'd like to see him. And I think for me, answering that question, I think I'd prefer to take Thiago Silva because let's be real with ourselves here. If Brighton go down, which is potential next season, if they go down, Lewis Dunk is now not a £50 million player. He's a £30 million player or a £25 million player.
Oh, so you'd rather wait and hope they get relegated?
I wouldn't hope. I think it depends on what you want. If you're getting Lewis Dunk for the experience and purely the experience, and Thiago Silva's got more. If you're getting Lewis Dunk to be a better player than Thiago Silva for the next 5 years, then yeah, go and get Lewis Dunk. It's just a case of how much are you willing to pay for that experience. Bear in mind, you can get Thiago Silva on a free for a high wage, because it will be a high wage. But you can get him on a free for God knows how many years of experience and being captain of the Brazilian national team for years. It's just stacked in Thiago Silva's favour. It's just stacked in his favour.
I agree with you. Only I was initially thinking we could get both in and get rid of Christensen and Rudiger because
I would love that. I would love that.
So do I. But my thing with that is that Lewis Dunk is meant to be short term, in my opinion, and we could look for someone who's long term, who's going to be a better defender in the long term in our finished side. And the same thing with Thiago Silva. We bring him in, but he'd be short term. It'd be long term. It wouldn't be long term. You don't get rid of both of them for two short term options because in about a year or two, they're both going to be finished.
Well, I think. No, Lewis Dunk's got a few more years in him.
No, not finished in the case of Lewis Dunk, but I think in the long-term aspects of what Chelsea are looking for in a defender, they're going to look for more than Lewis Dunk.
Oh no, they are. They 1,000,000% are. They 1,000,000% are. But again, you have got the likes of Tomori, who, again, going forward, could he be the future of Chelsea? The way I've seen him play, I know he's been a little bit out of favour, but the way I've seen him play, then there's definitely signs there for me. The guy whose name I'm not even going to try and pronounce, is he going to be the next big thing for Chelsea? Because you think Lewis Dunk, someone in the chat will know, is Lewis Dunk 27, 28, 29 maybe at most?
28, I think.
28. Let's say 4 years. Let's say 5 years. That's 33. 33, you've then got a 18, 19-year-old who just like that manages to turn into a 23, 24-year-old. Looking like a proper defender, looking like someone who we could really start to push with. And although Lewis Dunk may be slightly on his way out, kind of similar to how Gary Cahill was, on his way out, there's someone behind to come and not take the reins, that's the wrong word, but to go and potentially kick on and move on from there, rather than having to spend a shed load of money for no reason.
Someone was saying, in the case of Thiago Silva, that he slowed down because of his age. I just want to say with that, the defenders that we could put around him are going to be a lot quicker and they'll cover for that pace. I'm thinking this Kurt Zuma Thiago Silva partnership could be something sick.
I was going to say Tomori, but yeah, either one would work. And
the case of Tomori, he's meant to be going on loan for next season, isn't he? I've heard a couple clubs that are meant to be in for him. He hasn't really gone on loan yet, but I've heard the main aim is to push him on loan. I'm guessing we need to get more defensive options in first before we do that. But I'm guessing he's going to be going out on loan. And I think it probably would be better for experience if we send him to a Premier League club, but that's the only one where I'd be okay with it. I heard West Ham, I was thinking I'd hate to see him in that shirt, but Premier League...
If he got better,
Yeah. What were you thinking? Because you didn't really sound that favourable about it.
No, I'd like to see him stick around. Again, I understand why he'd go on loan, and it would be for the experience, and I appreciate that, but I would like to see him stick around more. I think he's been criminally underrated, I must be honest. And although he's not nowhere near the finished final product, having someone like Thiago Silva around to then be able to teach him what to do and how to play, and even Lewis Dunk telling him how to play and how to position yourself and what balls to go and win and which ones not to, when to go and when not to go, little things like that. That only happens if you've got better players around him. Do you know what I mean? You know, like Van Dijk, to be fair, people are going to go, oh, well, he hasn't had that for many, many years, which I appreciate, but he's been involved in the Dutch national team setup, who have played some of the nicest football ever, the Dutch teams, if you've ever seen them play. They've got legends right the way from top to bottom involved, and people are hopefully trying to make players better from a young age right the way through. He's got that experience from being around these big name players, and I have to say, someone like, he could probably benefit, to be fair, Tomori, from going to Villa if JT was still there. I've heard rumours that he wants to go elsewhere and get a head coaching job. But again, it could be interesting seeing Tomori work with JT. It could be interesting to see Tomori work with, Premier League team with an experienced centre-half. It could be fair, it could even be Brighton with Lewis Dunk, if Lewis Dunk didn't happen. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, there's little things like that they've definitely got options. Even Tarkowski, Ben Mee, both experienced players, not legends, but experienced players that know what to do, when not to do it, that kind of stuff. JT learnt so much from Marcel Desailly and Carvalho and a lot of players down the years, watching them, being around them, being involved. And then just like that, he turned into an absolute animal. Just from being around the right people. So as much as I would say, oh yeah, I'm ready for Tomori going on loan, it has to be to the right club. Otherwise, he might as well just stay at Chelsea.
I don't want him.
He might as well
I've
just stay
heard
at
stuff
Chelsea.
like Rennes and Lille, and I don't want him to go to French league. I want him to have Premier League experience.
Yeah.
That's the only way I think you can really grow. I don't think sending him out to another country where they play a completely different style of play to us, and they have a completely different fixture and everything, they don't really work for us.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of Kante to United stuff in this chat. This is weird. Is this an actual rumour? Because I ain't even heard nothing.
I'm going to Google it now because I have not heard anything about Kante.
Literally, the first time I'm hearing this is this stream. By the way, 286 guys on this live right now. Big up all you man watching us on this stream. Check out Craigo28 Football as well. Yes, I got the hand right this time.
Thank you. Transfer rumours. Man United consider Kante move.
No.
8 minutes ago.
Where in what centre of hell do you think we're making this deal?
No, never going to happen. Unless they pay us so much money, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I'd say 100 million to any other club.
There we are. That's the golden number. That's the golden number.
No. That's for any other club. Manchester United, I want 150. Sorry, no. Anyone else, it can be 100 mil. These lot, or you can throw Henderson in the deal as well, and we can take 20 or 30 off that.
But they can't afford that. They can't afford him. They need to get better at defensive. To be fair, they do.
They need to get better at their negotiations. How are they bottling the Sancho transfer? It's literally been on a plate for them.
Yeah, it's not as if he wants to move back to England, and there's one club that definitely needs a winger, and it's full of young talent, and is looking for someone English. And it's literally all there right in front of him, ready to go, and they've still fucked it up.
Ed Woodward, man. I see why these guys hate him.
Oh, he's a tit. He is a tit.
I'm glad he's there, tit. This guy's really trying to push this. Maguire being arrested. What's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I heard the Greek authorities asked for an official statement and what they should do as a punishment, so they awarded Man United a penalty.
I knew a joke was coming. I just wanted to see he's fun with this. What happened with it as well? Was it apparently he was standing up for his mate?
It's the same thing as Ross Barkley. It just happens to be that Maguire got caught.
Wait, what even happened with Barkley? Because I must have missed that too.
He got pissed up. He got tanked up, thought he was big man, and then had to be carried out. Unfortunately, Harry Maguire thinks he's big man and then just gets caught out because of it.
Well, fucking Pete. Now he's in a jail in Mykonos. That's mad.
Hang on, Mykonos.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Did I say it wrong?
Yeah,
Mykonos. Oh my word.
Mykonos. That's amazing.
Oh, that's on camera as well. That's
yes,
cute.
mate.
Okay, what else do you guys say? You're saying we need Declan Rice. Declan Rice isn't coming at like 80 million.
That's not happening.
And same way, we need an experienced centre-back first before we need any other centre-back. He'll be another one that needs a leader next to him. And that's cool, but that don't really fix what we need.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, as much as I was just saying about Tammy here, I'm not his biggest fan, Tammy. I must be honest. I'm not his biggest fan, but he has learned from Giroud, and you can see that. Because when he was playing early doors in the season, he was relying on people not being able to play against him.
And he was really poor in the hold-up play. I remember he got bodied all the time. He's got a lot better at that.
Yeah, and now, although he's still not wonderful at like the hold-up play, and he does get bodied every now and again, he is kind of using his brain a little bit more. The goal against the winner against Palace, where he kind of comes over to the right-hand side and just hits it across goal. You know, him maybe old school wouldn't have made that run, but that's a very Giroud-style run when they were coming forward and he just moves out 3-4 yards to the right-hand side and then puts it straight back across goal. That's a very Giroud-like finish. So you can definitely see that there's elements. It's not the final product, but there's elements where Tammy is getting a lot better because of being around Giroud. And as much as I like the whole Declan Rice situation, you have to have experienced players in there. I mean, the Bayern Munich team, obviously, it's made a Champions League final and looks favourites probably go and win it tomorrow night. They've got a perfect mix of youngsters, the likes of youngsters and fast players, let's say, Gnabry, Leroy Sané now as well, Alphonso Davies, Kingsley Coman, Joshua Kimmich. He's not necessarily that young, but he's still young enough. You know, they've got the likes of Boateng, Lewandowski, Müller, Neuer. Even to be fair, Goretzka, I could throw in that mix as well. Experienced players that have been there and done it. We are not playing centre half together. No chance.
That would be the worst partnership in history. Both
mate, you've got to do all the running. I'll
you.
read the game. I'll read the game all day long, but you've got to do the legwork, mate. You've got to do the legwork.
I can stick a leg out and that's it. I'm gonna pass it straight back to you.
Did I ever tell you about when I played at Leicester?
What?
Did I ever tell you about when I played at Leicester?
I remember you saying you played at Leicester, but I don't remember the story.
I played at Leicester. I originally was put down as a left back, right? And the geezer that turned up to play centre half was left-footed. And I just went, well, I don't give a crap, mate. I'll go and play centre half, and you can go and play left back. He went, fine, that suits me perfectly. So I played the first game left back. We decided to switch it round, and I played with Matty Elliott, who's a former Leicester player. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, then it means something to you. But he's old. He's old, right? We were playing. We won the first game 4-1, and we just thought, oh, sod this. We're going to be in with a chance of winning this like mini tournament that we were doing anyway. I looked at him, and he said, "Can you do the legwork?" I said, "No, I've had ACL reconstructive surgery. I've got no hope, mate. Like, I can't do the legwork." He went, "Do you want to sit on the edge of our own box for 90 minutes?" And I went, "Perfect." And we literally just sat on the edge of our 18-yard box and let everyone go do all the running up front. We just had all the pressure coming on, and we just lumped it forward every time. We literally played Burnley-style football and won the whole thing. It was great.
Wait, sorry. I need to check if this thing's true.
What?
Yeah, like bare people are saying this on the chat now. Now, one sec.
What?
Has he had an extension? Yeah, he has. He's had a new 5-year deal 3 minutes ago.
Oh, you're taking the piss.
Chelsea is cancelled now. Forget anything we were just talking about.
Oh, you're taking the piss. Well, bring on Thiago Silva. Bring on Thiago Silva.
What the? Yep. Okay. So that discussion we had about Lewis Dunk or Thiago Silva is now officially in the mud. Thiago Silva wins.
That is amazing. To be fair, maybe it's him signing a new deal because he wants to be on the move and they just want to get the right price for him. Potentially.
Yeah, was that all? But that was just him trying to get a couple extra quid in his pocket.
Yeah, jammy bastard.
Fucking hell. I
like him. I want him even more now. I want him even more.
Or maybe it's just him trying to get an extra 10 million for himself.
Yeah.
Everyone's just reacting to it now in the comments section.
Oh, honestly. That's honestly such gutting news. That's honestly gutting news.
Oh my god!
Oh my
335 people, and we heard it first here. Thiago Silva's probably happening. Lewis Dunk to Chelsea is now officially in the mud.
That's you. Let's change the title of this stream.
Yeah, I need to do that now. In fact, This one, John Stones. I hope we don't get him. I really hope we don't get him.
Nah.
We've been mugging off Arsenal for years about taking scraps, and we're gonna take one of City's scraps. That don't make sense.
Yeah, I still would take him.
Really?
He's 26, man. He's not like 40. He's 26.
No. This guy, if City wanted him and they really thought he would be something,
he doesn't fit into the Guardiola style of play. He does not.
He's a good centre back. Like,
yeah,
that's
I know, but he still doesn't
game
fit
I
in.
still wouldn't take out of him.
Yeah, he still doesn't fit in because they want to play that Barcelona style, which is like everyone can go forward, everyone can do everything. And he can't do everything. He's a good ball player and he can knock the ball around and he can defend as well. But when they were pushing forward so highly, just like that, he would always be left almost not exposed, but not a million miles away from it. I don't think he ever found the right centre-back pairing with him and Company or him and Fernandinho, him and Laporte, whoever it is. I don't think he ever found the right combination. I would still take him. If the price was right, I would take him. I also heard a lot of people saying about him going on loan to us.
I want loan deal. I might put my hands up to that.
Yeah.
Only in the case of it is a loan deal.
Because it's short term.
He's also injury prone as well. I swear he's been having a lot of injuries the last couple of seasons.
I don't quite know. I know Laporte's very much injury prone, but
he's just had that one big injury and that was it, right?
I think he got injured again, didn't he?
Did he?
Follow up, something like that. I think he did. He had one big one, and then it was something like a little flare up, which I think they just took with mass amount of precaution. But I think personally, I would go for Stones, only for look, you take him for 2 years, it don't work out, then all that just like that, you haven't lost anything. You take him, and it's like, oh, okay, well, it didn't work out. You still can go and send him to the likes of a Brighton, for argument's sake, after 2 years, and they look at him and go, yeah, well, he's going to be a centre half for us for the next 4 years, 5 years. Gets a decent deal. Thanks very much. Cheers. But he's still in the England setup. He's in there for a reason.
Yeah,
that's the way to look at it. It's a way to look at it. Maybe not.
Maybe on a smaller deal, because I know the money being thrown around was about 20, 30 million.
20 million, 20, 25 I'd take.
50, what?
2025 I'd take.
You're warming me up to it. I will say that. I've still got my thing about it, but you have sold it a bit more. I will give you that.
He's not the finished article, and he's not going to be the guy that saves us. He's not going to be your Van Dijk. But you've got probably 3 years, 4 years of him to be able to progress up to the age of about 30. And if he hasn't made it by then you can move him on. If he hasn't made it beforehand and there's someone else on the table or an offer, then maybe you let him go beforehand. But I think he definitely deserves at least 2 years. If you get him on loan, then obviously he's got a year. Prove it, mate. But other than that, 2 years, 3 years. But again,
the comment section is hot on this.
Oh, I know. I know. Loads of people hate him. But he doesn't necessarily make us better with what he is at the moment. But get him in the right team, get him in the right system. There's a reason Man City paid 50 million quid for him. There's a reason that they did. And there's a reason that we were going to many, many years ago. Maybe he hasn't been able to find it in the last few years. But again, for 20 million quid, you can have a gamble. That's worth a gamble at 20 million quid. Because if it don't work out, what are you going to do? Sell him for 15.
Nice, yeah, because that was my same mindset with the Barkley one when we got him.
Exactly. It's worth a gamble.
15.
It's worth a gamble.
I will say we can't do too much of those because that ends up with a 17-18 transfer window situation.
Oh, no,
a lot of people have said about Giminez. I do want to say, though, 120 million release clause.
It's ridiculous.
Like he's a good defender. I'm not even saying
I didn't even think he was that good against Red Bull Leipzig.
Really, in that game?
I didn't think he was that good. I'll be honest, it's the only time I've watched him for a full 90 minutes. I didn't think he was that good. He was all right. But what's the geezer next to him? Savic,
yes.
Yeah, so much better. So much better. Maybe it's because he's older and more experienced, but he just did so much more.
They must all be on like these release clauses with the same sort of wage, because that's the same thing with Iain Oblak as well.
Yep.
My thing with Iain Oblak was always that Atletico Madrid did need the money, but now I'm just thinking it's that goalkeeper. It's the new goalkeeper that signed that's warming it up for me. But same way, there's a lot of money we need to recoup first in order to get that.
Chelsea. People say that it's a really exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. People say it's a negative time to be a Chelsea fan. It's a double-edged sword kind of thing. We have got a lot of money to spend, and we are willing to spend it, and we know what we need. But we've got to let people go. Do you know what I mean? Because
we still haven't got rid of a left back and a centre back, and we're meant to be getting rid of one before buying one.
Yeah, exactly. And we aren't doing that. But people know that we need to let go of people. The one thing that we've got in our favour is that in this weird time, we have got money to spend. Nice one. But all of a sudden, it doesn't make it all 100% perfect because people still have to buy from us. And are they going to have the money that we demand for whatever it is? Like
that is a very good point, Jorginho, because he should be worth 50, 60 million, but in the market right now, he'd probably be 25, 30. And that's probably why we're holding on to him. No, I think it would be, because you got to remember with the case of other clubs, a lot of these other clubs have to sell to buy first as well. Mm-hmm. So their money that they have is going to be short. We're lucky we got the transfer ban, all that Morata money, the Hazard money, all the 18, 19 money that we earned. And we've got all that in our resources. But we still got to be able to sell first as well. We're just luckier, but they have to. Yeah,
they have to. I'll be honest with you. I think if we get one defensive option, probably two defensive options, we've done well this transfer window. And although it's not going to be, thank you very much. I think although it's not going to be 100% perfect, it is going to be more likely to be a success than other clubs is, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm coming across in the right way, but simply put, we have to be able to buy two defensive options. We've gotten better. It doesn't maybe we're not the finished article right now, but we've gotten better, which I think a lot of clubs may struggle to do this season or this transfer window. Maybe it changes, I don't know, but I don't see a lot of clubs getting better.
Which is why I hope we can really strike, but that also depends on the defensive options. A lot of people saying Upamecano. What was the buyout clause that we said already?
42.5 million apparently next season though.
Next season. That would be next season. I'd be very interested in that. Roma with Jorginho. This one, they're talking about the new American owner. What was his name?
Oh yeah,
I spoke about in the video yesterday.
No
Dan
idea.
Ratcliffe or something like that.
Don't know, but yeah, I know the owner.
Yeah, 55 to 60 million. If we could recoup at least most of that sort of money that we got for him, then that's just another case of Marina magic for me.
I was going to say that my estimation of him would probably be around about the 40, 45, 50 million quid mark at the moment anyway. So, well, in pounds, I don't know what that quite is in euros. But if we get 55 million euros, let's say, for Jorginho, I think we've had a couple of years out of him. Maybe we've taken a little bit of a loss, yeah. But was he important in us winning Europa League? Yeah. You know, you've had your money's worth out of him, if that makes sense. For the loss,
I think he barely
of like 7 million quid.
Games.
Exactly.
Now, I remember the big thing about him was that he was coming on and getting booed half the time. But he was coming on.
Yeah, but when he started, he was all right, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, Europa League final. Definitely ain't forgetting that.
Exactly.
Any final question, guys? Because we're going to wrap off the stream in a little bit. Everyone's talking about Lewis Dunk and the 5-year deal. Yeah, that's just come across 10 minutes ago. That means obvious news. It means Lewis Dunk is not coming to Chelsea unless we are actually that interested in him that we're going to throw 50 million or something stupid in.
Do you ever remember doing kit launches? And you ever see a player do a kit launch that was possibly rumored to go? You instantly went, "Yeah, he's going to leave," like Hazard did with us when we released what people are calling the bus seat kit.
Oh yeah,
he appeared in the advert, and everyone went, "He's leaving."
No, it's because it was always happening with Arsenal. I think they had Fabregas in their new kit and he left, and then Nasri in the new kit and he left, and then Van Persie in the new kit and he left.
Hopefully,
and it's just a yearly tradition with them.
Yeah, it's just we just have. I suppose it's bad luck, but I just have this really annoying feeling that it's just not going to work out quite the way that we might have hoped with Dunk. But who knows? Again, let's hope that the iron strikes elsewhere, maybe not just Arsenal.
Someone saying Ben Mee or Tarkowski, anyone. We spoke about that earlier. Both very experienced. Would you take one or the other?
I probably have Tarkowski more. But again, both good players. I think Tarkowski's the younger one of the two. So maybe he could be a little bit better in the future. But again, if you're taking a short-term option, Ben Mee would be class. I don't actually know how old he is off the top of my head. I want to say he's 28, 29. He's been around for a few years, but Tarkowski is looking like he could be English centre-half of the future. So although it's not, that alone is not worth spending a hell of a lot of money on, he is backing it up by some very decent performances as well. So I'd take him. I'd take Tarkowski.
All right, cool. I'll wrap it off with one of the Twitter questions, because I put this on Twitter and I actually didn't even answer any of the
I was going to say, there's loads of good topics on there that I was...
Yeah, I think we've gone through a couple of them.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, best moment on Blues Fans TV. I like that one first anyway. We'll go through that one. You've got one, right? There's been a bit of a dead year anyway. I can't even lie. There's been barely anything except Arsenal and Spurs.
Chatting shit with you, to be fair.
Fan cams have been fun.
I haven't been to a lot of like big games. I've missed out on the odd one, like the away Arsenal away, Tottenham away. I missed out on.
Mate.
Yeah, I know. Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, there's. Don't tell me you were at Southampton.
No, didn't do that.
Oh, thank God! If you went to
Boxing Day. Yeah, I was there on Boxing Day. I had a nightmare on Boxing Day.
Oh, mate!
I got my brand new AirPods. Managed to literally drop one as I was coming out off the train. It bounced in the train over the gap and landed like 2 inches on the platform, and I shat myself.
Oh, you kept it? Okay.
Yeah, I managed to keep hold of it but I was just like a nervous wreck after that. So, oh my God, I could have thrown away my Christmas present and that would have been 150 quid gone.
Imagine explaining that when you got back.
Yeah, exactly. That would not have gone well.
All right, we're going to do 2 questions off this Twitter one and we'll wrap it up. First one, top 6 predictions next season, just off the top of your head.
Arsenal 6th, Tottenham 5th, Man United 4th, Chelsea 3rd, Liverpool 2nd, Man City top.
I'd agree with all of that, you know. I think that's more or less the same as well. I think Arsenal and Spurs will get better, but they won't hit top 4. We'll comfortably be 3rd. United will make top 4. They got the team for it. Wait,
Man
where's
City.
Leicester though?
They're out soon.
You think that's done?
Yeah. Well, not
Oh,
done.
really?
Not done, but not a million miles away from it.
Okay, so to be fair, there's going to be one controversial one out there. It's not even a top 6. It's becoming a top 7 or a top 8.
Yeah. If we're going top 7, Leicester.
Then my question is, where's Wolves?
8th.
Fucking hell. To be fair, someone was always going to be disappointed on that one.
To be fair, I generally am going to be really interested to see how Leicester deal with European football. Because if they deal with it well, then they could be going right away again, looking into top 4. But I have a weird feeling they're not going to. Okay,
well, final question. What's your ideal back line if we bring in Thiago Silva and Chilwell?
Me, Tiago, no. Who do I want? Bringing in Thiago Silva, I think my perfect back line would be Tagliafico. Dave eventually goes to be into Reece James. Because I don't think he's quite there yet. He's getting there, Reece James, but he probably still needs about a couple of months. So Reece James eventually, Thiago Silva, and probably Tomori.
Okay, cool. Well, that's going to be us wrapping it up now because I know you got to head off as well. So we're going to end this
to the pub, yes.
now. Yeah. If anything, I might be heading down there as well. Guys, check out Craigo28 Football and Craigo28 Sports. There'll be links down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well. Thank you guys for coming on. This has been yet another fun stream. Iain, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Up the Chelsea.
Perfect ending. Yeah, up the Chelsea. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Lewis, guys. The Chelsea is in the mud, and it looks like it will be Thiago Silva coming in. So, yes, more experience. We move. Take care. Like and subscribe.